Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? Um, Sorry for the way this all turned out. That's why I refunded your money. I feel better doing it this way. And I usually don't do really, really small children. They just don't have as much to say because their time here was so short. So it's a little harder to bring more stuff through, at least for me, in my experience anyway. Maybe, probably not everybody, but anyway, I just felt better doing it this way, and I would rather do it for free anyway. So I like to explain real quick how this works, so you kind of understand. I feel here, see, sense, know, something like that. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. And I try to describe the picture the best that I can. They never waste a message. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later. Go, oh, I know what he's saying. This is, like I said, this is not an exact science. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. We communicate the best way we can. So it's his show. I let them run the show. They know what we want to hear, what we need to hear, not always what we want to hear. So not enough coffee today. So we're going to talk to Bryce today. Okay, he's talking about, he's showing himself holding the hand of a grandmother type energy. And I always say type energy because the little lady next door can feel more like your grandmother than your blood grandmother clear across the country that you talk to once a year at Christmas. So it's a grandmother type energy. I almost want to say it's a great grandmother to you. The lady has her hair very nicely done. She's very soft, very loving, but I don't think proper is the word I want to use. But she would have her hair done. She doesn't have the little old lady gray blue hair like a lot of us. I'm not going to have that stuff, obviously. So hopefully that describes her. She does not look like a little old lady. So maybe she might have passed before she got to be elderly into the gray-haired, blue-haired stage. And she's showing herself kind of dressed like me. Even got the same colored shirt on. Not exactly the same, but same colored shirt. So maybe she felt younger than her age. We kind of stink at names, so we'll see if there any letters come through. And also, there's an aunt. Don't think it's your aunt. I think it would be a great aunt. So this could be a great grandmother, could be a great aunt. Not getting the exact feeling for sure, that are with him, that are, I might say, guiding his soul, taking care of his soul. He's very happy, very chipper, very sweet. So there's a cat that walks by in front of him, and he reaches out and tries to grab its tail. I didn't get a real good look. Bring the cat back. Kind of a yellow cat. Somebody needs to know that their fur baby is with these people. He's waving at you. He says they're either is or going to be another little boy born. Now, I don't know for sure if this is going to be to you or just somebody close to you. It's not going to be his soul coming back, but he will be interacting with this child. All little kids, animals, at least dogs and cats that I've seen, see spirit, hear spirit, feel spirit, and it's no big deal because nobody's told them yet you can't do that. You can't have an imaginary friend. So know that I don't feel like this baby's born yet. It could be, but I don't feel like it is, but it's coming. This child will be interacting with Bryce. So, like I said, all little kids, everybody had an imaginary friend. And when they get to be about 9 or 10 years old, then they start shutting it down because they start looking around going, oh, society's going to say I'm crazy. You know, if I can see this little guy playing with me. So if you have a new one coming, watch the baby. If you see it just laying there laughing, or it's either you or somebody very close to you. So if you see it laughing at nothing, it's not laughing at nothing. It'll be interacting with Bryce. Or when it gets a little bit older, you see it like trying to feed a cookie to the air. It's not feeding a cookie to the air. So listen to the child, watch the child. Don't push the child. Don't try to make things happen. It will happen naturally. And they will interact with each other. And Bryce is excited for this one coming. Very excited. He wants me to explain to you that what I've been taught is before we come here, before we're born, we decide our exit point. I don't think we always decide how we're going to exit, but we decide when we're going to exit. It can be when you're 1 day old, it can be when you're 100 years old. Whatever that timeline is, it can waver a little bit, depending on what's going on with the people around, what they're going to learn from it. Being down here is all about learning lessons. And the ones that kick you in the ass the hardest are the ones that you remember and learn from. What did you learn from his short little life here? What did you learn by him leaving? What did you learn? Did you learn to love others harder? Did you learn to love deeper? Did you learn to forgive mistakes? Did you learn to hug people that you had been mad at and let those things go? What did you learn? You can also learn people are assholes, but it's usually the good lessons. I don't want to say silver lining, but there's always that thing when this kind of stuff happens. So like I said, I don't know that we always decide how we're going to leave. I think it might depend on the situation at hand, how that's going to fit in and for everybody involved and how that's going to work. It stinks. I know it stinks. I bitch at them, but not like they're going to listen to me. Can't you find an easier way for this stuff to happen? So know that he will, whoever this infant is, he will be side by side with it. And that's a good thing. When I go to cleanse people's houses, I always use this one couple for an example. They had tons of stuff in there, but they also had 4 grandparents. I said, were any of the grandparents assholes? And they said no. I said, then we'll leave the 4 grandparents. Everybody else has to go. Because people that were attached to you here are good energy. They're good guardians. Unless they were butt heads when they were here. And then it's kind of like, even though we get cleansed when we get up there, back up there, it's still best if they were cranky here to, yeah, just let's not keep that one. So Bryce will be good for this new child coming. I hope I explained that right. There's also a dog that he wants to bring through. sorry, they make my head itch. This is usually the only area I itch when they get real close. I don't know why. It's their energy. How it affects me. And it's taller than him, bigger than him. It looks like a Great Dane. It's light colored, but it's definitely bigger than a Labrador or whatever, and it's not big and fat like a Rottweiler type, but it's big, kind of slim. I'm going to say Great Dane or something along that line. So he's bringing this dog through so that somebody knows that their fur baby's okay and with him. Don't cry for me. I am at peace. I am entirely at peace. Pain-free. Good to go. Sometimes you hear him. Sometimes you hear like a da, 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 da. Something, you'll hear that da, da, da. I don't think it's just a clear dad or daddy. Sounds like da, da, da. Usually, if you hear it in your ears, you'll hear it in one ear. Could even get really warm there on that one ear. Sometimes it could come in as a muttering, a whispering, it can even come in as a shriek, kind of a squeal. If it comes in and you cannot understand it, tell him, vibration's too high, I can't understand what you're saying. You need to come back and slow it down. You can also hear with telepathic ears. I have talked to a real live person right in front of me telepathically. Well, she talked to me that way. She's good. So you can hear it up here. You thought you felt him crawling on the bed. So whenever you hear the da da da, whatever or whatever that noise you end up, I don't know exactly how you will receive it. Everybody receives it different. And when you feel what feels like him crawling across the bed, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more signs. Give him permission and ask. Let him know that you know those are signs from him. Let him know that you know that that's him around you. And it really helps them. Then they go, oh, they're getting it. They're getting it. I'll do some more. He wants you to know that he's safe. He wants you to know that he's well. He wants you to know that his soul is good, healthy. We don't have this body anymore. This is just our vehicle to walk around in down here. It's our vehicle for our soul, our spirit. And we don't need that when we go up there. But it's still the same soul. I picked you to be my daddy. I want you to know that. I picked you for a reason. Even though I knew I wouldn't be here very long. I want you to know that I picked you. And I have been told that we pick our parents before we get here. And there's a reason. I don't, it's something our soul needs to go through or learn, or I don't know what other word I want to use. Don't be sad for me. I'm fine. You will see me again. Not anytime soon. I hear you talk to me. I hear you talk to me when nobody's around. You don't want people to know that you're talking to me. and I hear you. And I promise, I don't know if I already said it, I promise you 1,000% he can hear you, he can see you. You just have trouble getting it from the other side. He can clearly hear and see you, no problem. They're closer than you think. It's really like they're around the corner. Something either has or is going to fall over in your house. It's like he's going to knock something over. Almost feels like it's maybe around the corner from the living room in the hallway. I don't know what it is. Something's going to fall over. It's not anything big drastic thing or anything's going to break, I don't think. You have some kind of little memorial thing in your house, like a picture of him and maybe some toys or little trinkets or something in your house. And there's some kind of a little car, or a little truck or something. And just kind of keep an eye on it. It's going to move. It'll move, and it might be just very, very slight. He may not have quite figured out how to do it yet. It's just like the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze. I always say that's about the closest how this works in a way, except the dark spirits that come up and grab the guy and drag him off. I've never ever seen anything like that. And but like when Patrick Swayze is in the subway tunnel with the spirit and he's learning how to flick the bottle cap and kick the can, it actually kind of works like that. It takes a little bit for them to figure out how to move things without these. Some of them get it right off the bat. Some of them it takes a little bit to figure out how to move that energy. So it might move very slightly, or it might take him a little while to figure it out before it does move. But again, when that happens, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more, ask him to do it again. He's going to be very playful, happy, safe. He said he wants you to know that he is warm. He said that's important to him. And nobody else needs to know but us, you and him. You have to accept that I'm gone. Don't carry that burden forever. And he's not showing me how he left, but I've asked him not to show me that anymore, because I used to feel it and see all the details, and then I'd cry after every reading, it's too much for me. He wants you to know that he heard you at the funeral. Something that you said, I'm not sure that you even said it out loud. He heard you. Something just between you and him. He heard you. And again, that telepathic. You don't have to talk out loud to talk to him. I love you too, Daddy. I want you to know that I'm safe and warm. So please be okay with that. It's just the way things work. And he goes like this. Then he's like me. Why? I don't know. We don't get to decide. We don't know exactly, other than we're just here to learn lessons, and we're here for our soul to grow. So he didn't have a lot that he needed to accomplish this time, so he didn't need to be here very long. He was here for a purpose, and he was here for a short time for a purpose. So just think about that. I know that might be a lot to grasp when you don't know some of this woo-woo stuff, but there's a reason. Always a reason. Okay, my dear. With that, he's going to leave. He wants you to get those few little things first. And then maybe later on down the line, you might want to hear from him again. So, and I always tell people, watch for the repeating signs, the repeating. I ask them to do unique things. Everybody knows about butterflies and coins and feathers and cardinals. And even me, I went to the cemetery when my friend passed away 10 times. I went out there. Where's my damn sign that you're around? And every time a white butterfly would come, circle me, and leave. And it took me like 10 times going, duh, Rhonda, there it is right there. And now white butterflies are always a sign. I was going to go in this lady's house to get a reading for myself. And I thought, dude, do I really want to go in here? And there by the door appeared a white butterfly messing around right by the door handle. I went, okay, I'm going. So yours probably won't be a white butterfly, but watch for that repeating thing. That will be your next sign. They always want to let you know that they love you and that they're around. He's saying something about a feather, so watch for feathers to be in odd places. I found I took a drink out to my vehicle, set it in the cup holder, looked down, and there was a little feather in there. How did that get there? I wasn't outside. I walked out of a building. So watch for feathers like that, or when you get out of your vehicle. And now if you park under a tree with a big ass bird's nest in it, that doesn't count. But in the middle of a parking lot, and I look down and there'll be a feather when I get out of my vehicle. That's a watch for the, I don't want to say weird. I find them on my dash of my vehicle with the windows rolled up and the truck locked. So just watch for those kinds. So I think feathers are good. Feathers are easy for them to manipulate. Okay, my dear, he's leaving. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for understanding. I lost my voice for a few days. I went out of town. I just, like I said, I didn't feel right charging you. So anyway, I hope this helped a little bit. Know that he's around. He's a very, very soft, sweet energy. Very much at peace. And he says, and warm again. He's stressing that. Okay, my dear. Thank you very much for being so understanding. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.